Previously on The Walking Dead, Dead City.
Oh man, it's nice to have Simon back. They brought back the man himself. They brought back Stephen Ogg as Simon for a cameo, and I am so thrilled that they did that. They kind of talk to each other, and he's like, Negan, my brother, you know? Negan! My brother! And he's like, well, giving Herschel back, that part's gonna be a little tricky, you know? And I'm like, oh my goodness, man. Armstrong actually pulls a weapon on Negan. Negan's just like, you're a dick, you know? Which I thought was really cool. Oh my god, so Maggie's been lying to Negan this whole time. Well, I think that's the first time I could say that Negan is truly innocent and Maggie's the villain.
Wow, really?
Hey guys, it's Dan, your host of Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back for another video for The Walking Dead, Dead City. And in today's video, we're going to be doing our weekly review for this week's episode. This one is for Season 1, Episode 5, titled Stories We Tell Ourselves.
Alright guys, this one's going to be doing a review today. This one's going to be doing a review for The Walking Dead, Dead City. And in today's video, we're going to be doing our weekly review for this week's episode. This is for the penultimate episode for Season 1 of Dead City. Episode 5, titled Stories We Tell Ourselves. So, Episode 5 of Dead City, we have the one episode left, the one episode to remain for this season, and then that'll be it for the first season of Dead City. My goodness, guys, this show is just, it's incredible. It's so damn incredible. This episode is probably my favorite one so far. At least, I would say, if not on par with episode 4, maybe even better, to be honest. This episode was so good. So many amazing scenes, so many amazing, character moments and plot twists and amazing, zombie fights. And yeah, this episode really had it all for me. I really, really enjoyed this one. So, in this episode, we have a few different plots going on. We've got the Croat who is visiting the Dama, which we get introduced to briefly in this episode, very briefly. We also then get Negan and we've got Armstrong start kind of low-key bonding in this episode. And then you've got Maggie and her crew that are in the sewers trying to escape and trying to get out. Now, let's go over each one. We'll go through them, all individually, and then we'll kind of give our overall thoughts. So, the Croat and the Dama, I figured we'd get that one through first because that is the shortest plot of the bunch. He is basically introduced to, or we are introduced to as the viewers, this new settlement in New York. So, this is an ally of the Croat. We don't know who exactly this is, aside from, she's a leader of some sort of organization in, New York. And we basically get a brief conversation about how Negan is here. He's made it to the island. And, she's just like, okay, well, is he still out there? And he's like, yeah, he's still out there. But I will find him, I assure you, And it's almost like he was talking to the Dama as if, like, he was, like a second in command to her or something. Like, I didn't really get the vibe that, she really listened to him. It's more so like he was listening to her and he was giving her info, Like, she's, like, the big boss or something. So, I don't know what exactly they're going to do with her, but they've introduced her in a way where you can tell that there's a lot of stuff building up with her, and she will be a major antagonist, I think, down the line. Because I've said this before and I'll say it again, the Dama as a character I feel like is going to be one of the overarching threats of this show. And another thing I'd love to mention about her is that the actress from Ozark who plays Darlene is this character, which she does a phenomenal job in Ozark. She is an amazing villain in Ozark, and I think she was off to a really intriguing start in this episode. So that was that. That was a really great scene for her. Really cool introduction as she kind of got filled in on everything that was going on. And yeah, I thought that was really good. Now, we've also got Negan and we've got Armstrong. Now, Armstrong is, of course, holding Negan captive. They're kind of like going through and Negan's, trying to kind of escape. There is a moment where Negan actually tries to run out and, escape and kind of run away. And basically he goes to like this like boarded up door which says don't open, dead outside, which I did catch that reference. That's really cool. Cool reference to The Walking Dead Season 1. But anyway, Negan tries to escape about midways, and anyway, he basically tries to get out, but then Armstrong Armstrong catches up to him. His leg is hurt, so he's not doing so well, and that's when the two of them kind of realize, like, this is ridiculous what they're doing, you know? And Negan says, like, I'm gonna save you again. Hell, I'm probably gonna pay for it because the marshals are probably still gonna come after me, knowing my luck, but I'm gonna save your life, okay? But you gotta stop pointing the gun in my face and learn to trust me. I'm going to help you, you know? So Negan helps Armstrong out, and he brings Armstrong to like this bus or whatever. And basically, we get a bit of a story that Armstrong tells Negan about his brother, which I thought was really cool. And apparently, he didn't see him too often before the world fell apart. They didn't have the closest relationship before the world fell apart. But basically, you know, he kind of talked about how his brother's death kind of affected him and stuff like that, and he didn't want him to suffer and stuff like that, and Negan is kind of, you know, hearing this out. But one of the biggest things I can take away from Negan and Armstrong's plot is that Negan did the right thing. Negan, you know, views people as a resource, and he viewed Armstrong as a guy that's not even necessarily bad. He's just doing what he needs to do to get by, and I think Negan could tell that, you know. He's dealt with psychopaths before. He knows what they're like, and I think he realizes that Armstrong is not that. And I think that's why Negan saved him, which I think is a good call because towards the end of the episode, they started to kind of, warm up to each other a little bit, and it looks like Armstrong might actually join our side. He might actually join Negan, and Negan helped him out with his leg, and yeah, I mean, Negan really came in clutch this episode for him. He really did. So that plot I thought was absolutely fantastic. I really liked the dynamic between those two. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with Armstrong now that he's going to be like a good guy type of thing. So, okay, now the major plot we had in this episode was Maggie and her group in the sewers. Now, they, of course, are trying to get through after escaping the stadium last episode, right, or the arena. And basically, they are, going through the sewers. You got Jenny, who is a little bit worried about Negan, and you've got Maggie that kind of bad talks Negan a little bit. She kind of talks about how of a bad person he is, and Jenny, you don't even know half of it. If you only knew the kind of man Negan was, you would not be going after him, that sort of thing. And Jenny is still not responding, and Tommaso and Amaya are kind of wondering why, right? And Maggie has to kind of explain like she doesn't really talk all that much and all that, but yeah, that was pretty cool. So I love the environment, I really do. I love the environment of the sewers. I think it's a really cool location for the episode, and they kind of are, trying to make their way through, but air is a problem, right? They're, after a while, they're going to end up passing out and, kind of getting sick and stuff like that, which does actually start happening to Maggie as the episode progresses. She almost passes out, but she manages to stay awake until she manages to get out of there. But it was a close call for Maggie in this one for sure. I could tell she was really struggling. But let's go into the big plot with them. So basically, Tommaso, apparently this whole time, and I did not see this twist coming, apparently he did have a plan to kind of do things for himself and kind of just save himself. And Maggie kind of pointed this out, and she actually kind of called it. Apparently, she was right about Tommaso, just not all the way. Apparently, the only reason why he did it is because he wanted to save Amaya, right? So Maggie was kind of half right, I would say, but it was kind of an interesting approach they took with Tommaso kind of being like a selfish coward in this episode a little bit. At least, until later on, right? So anyway, they get those oxygen things so Jenny could breathe and stuff like that. Maggie and them keep going, and well, then we get a major twist in this episode, which is actually the death of both Amaya and Tommaso literally in the same scene. And literally, Amaya, of course, is the one that gets attacked first. She gets like gutted by a zombie. Her guts are like hanging out. So Amaya's dead. She unfortunately dies by some zombies in the sewer. And, we get to see Tommaso that trying to, kind of tries to help her a little bit, and he ends up dying as a result too, and he ends up getting killed by walkers. So yeah, I did not expect their deaths in this episode whatsoever. I really did not expect that to go down. I'm kind of gonna miss them in the series because though they only lasted a few episodes, I felt like their characters and the actors had a lot of charisma, the both of them. So I am gonna say I am gonna miss them, but I did enjoy their time in the show. I didn't expect them to be like major characters, but I also didn't expect them to die in this episode in the way they did. So that was pretty sad, and I really liked the scene because I like how realistic it is, you know what I mean? I like how not everybody gets out of the sewers like completely untouched. I like how there's actual damage. There's actual realism in this show. And that's what I really appreciate is that they're not afraid to kill off characters. They're not afraid to do some of this stuff. And, they're ballsy. This show is really ballsy. And they killed two characters just like that. And it's realistic. It really is. So I really appreciate that. And I thought their deaths were handled very, very well, for sure. So, anyway, we then get to see Maggie. She is, of course, going through the sewers. It's just her and Jenny now. Jenny goes up ahead, and they are trying to get out, but it's really, really difficult. And basically, now, okay, let's talk about probably the greatest scene in the episode. Maggie ends up fighting a morphed together zombie. So, this was insane. Basically, you've got a walker that is already turned, like a big walker, and it's been so many years that they've been down here rotting that the zombies are like rotting into each other and they're like blending into each other to where it's like three zombies all like in a monster type format coming after Maggie. And it's really cool because Maggie has to stab one in the head, still stab the other one in the head, stab the other one in the head, and it's like this major fight that she has with this zombie, which we've seen in trailers before. But it was so exciting. I absolutely loved that scene. It felt like classic Walking Dead again to see zombies being the threat and zombies being the problem. And it was a real struggle for Maggie, and that's what I appreciate about the scenes. So it was really good. To me, that's one of my favorite scenes of the show so far because it was intense, it was scary, it was well acted. Lauren did a phenomenal job, and the zombie was really intimidating. I really, really enjoyed it. So that was good. Now, after that, Jenny escapes the sewers. She manages to get out, and Maggie's on her way out too. She's catching up to her, and then we get a major plot twist to cap off this episode before the finale. I thought this was a really interesting way of ending things, where basically we get these flashbacks of when Herschel was taken from Maggie. And we find out that her community was not raided at all. No, that's not what happened. They did confront Maggie, that's true. But apparently, and this it's kind of the cliffhanger of the episode, in the flashback, Croat gives Maggie a wanted poster, which is the Negan wanted poster, and insinuating basically that I will give you your son back, I will trade your son for you handing over Negan to me, right? And that is exactly what happens. He gives her the wanted sign, and it's like, find him, and I will give you your boy back, you know? So that's the deal that Croat made with Maggie, which I think is, that is insane. That is absolutely insane. So Maggie this entire time has been lying to Negan's face. She's been lying to him this whole time. I mean, we did predictions videos, you know, in this past week where we kind of discussed the possibility of it, but I still cannot believe that they did that. So that was insane. And the episode ends with Jenny. She manages to escape the sewers, and she shoots the flare up to let Negan know, like, I'm here, come find me. So, oh my god, man. What a phenomenal episode. What an incredible episode of Dead City. It probably, no, it is. It's my favorite episode. It is, definitely. I mean, I liked 4. 4 was amazing, but 5 is incredible. I loved episode 5. So let me know in the comment section below. What did you guys think about this episode for Dead City? Did you like it? Let me know in the comment section below if you did. And if you're new to the channel, guys, and you enjoyed this video, make sure to click the subscribe button to not miss any other videos of The Walking Dead Dead City. Make sure to follow me on Dan's The Walking Dead reviews on Instagram, guys. And of course, I will see you guys really soon for more videos for the amazing Dead City. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out.